Welcome to the Pre to Post Transplant Podcast, a podcast that brings personal stories from transplant survivors, their families, friends, and loved ones. This is where you will hear challenges and triumphs of everyone involved in this journey. Our guests will offer wisdom, advice, and inspiration on everything you want to know about transplant. My name is Jenny McFarland. I am a transplant survivor, and this is a podcast I wish I had before and immediately following my transplant. Thank you for listening. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pre to Post Transplant Podcast. This is Jenny McFarland, your host, and let me tell you, I am still on a high from being at the Transplant Games of America. It's been a month now, and it was the most amazing experience. Let me tell you, the Pre to Post Transplant Foundation had a booth there, and part of that booth was the podcast, and I had a little part of the booth with the information about the podcast, and I had the microphone set up, and I let people come in and share their little mini stories with you guys, and that's what this episode is all about, is their stories. And it was so amazing that I got to be around so many people in the transplant community. I enjoyed every single day. It was a long, exhausting week, but it was so fulfilling, and I cannot wait to go back. One of the things that we had at the games were we were displaying in our booth one of our programs, Jordan's Rocks. And I don't know if I've mentioned that on the podcast before yet, but one of our board members, Monica Emerson, who you've heard on the podcast before a couple years ago, her son passed away, and she paints these rocks. They're Donate Life rocks in honor of her son. And she brought a bunch of smaller rocks to the games, and those rocks were a huge hit. Everybody loved them. And it was so nice having people come into the booth to talk to Monica and her husband Brent and hear the story about her son Jordan, who passed away. And it was so amazing watching the people talk to them and share their stories with them and tell them thank you. And, it touched my heart a little bit, because without donor families, we wouldn't have transplant recipients. So I just, that's one of my favorite parts of the whole booth were the rocks. And we got to share with people that we have these rocks on our website that you can order and personalize. And Monica paints these, individually, and she personalized them for you. So if you guys are interested in a Donate Life rock, you can come onto our website and order one. And there's 2 different styles that you can pick from, and you can personalize it, and she will paint it for you, and she will ship it to you. So, visit the website at pretopost.org and order one. They're amazing to have. I have like 5 of them laying around the house. So, and also I wanted to talk a little bit about the foundation while I'm on the subject. I promise I'll make this short. Our buddy program is doing great. We have a lot of post-transplant recipients and caregivers and living donors who have signed up to be a buddy. So if you know somebody who is interested in having a buddy, and when I say buddy, I mean like a mentor, have them come on the website and sign up. You can sign up as a post-transplant or a pre-transplant or anybody in the organ donation community. And then you get matched up with somebody who's just like you, who's going through what you've been through. And you get to mentor them, and you get to be their buddy through their journey. And hopefully that forms a long friendship with that person. And it's really rewarding knowing that you get to share your story with somebody else. So visit the website at www.pretopost.org. And if you like what we're doing for the foundation, we're always accepting donations for the foundation. We need extra funding to start our accommodations program. We haven't been able to start that yet. So if you're interested in helping out the foundation, you can visit the Give page from our website and you can make a donation. Or, just share this podcast or let's get the word out about the foundation so that we can help more people in the community. So I've been rambling on, and I don't want to any longer. I want you guys to hear these amazing stories from these amazing people in the transplant community at the Transplant Games. This is part 1. I did it 2 ways. I had the first few days, I had people just come up and just say whatever they wanted to say. And a lot of people struggled with that a little bit. So the second half of the games, I did little mini interviews, and that will be the next episode, part 2, coming out in hopefully this week, hopefully in a few days. That one's taking a little bit longer to edit. So hopefully I can get it out in the next few days. So stay tuned for that one. And then, drop me an email or a comment on Facebook, visit the Facebook page and tell me what you thought of this episode and tell me what you thought about these people sharing their stories. And if you connected with somebody, in particular on the episode, tell me about it. I want to hear about it. So one thing I forgot to mention is that I put some music behind the voices. That way it kind of drowns out the background noise. There's a lot of background noise in this episode, and there's nothing I could do about that. So hopefully the music helps with that a little bit. And it kind of makes it sound a little nicer. So let's not wait any further. Let's go ahead and jump into part 1 of Tales from the Transplant Games.
Good afternoon. My name is Larry Montalto. People call me Chief. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. 5 years ago, I received a kidney and liver transplant. Today, I work at the hospital as a volunteer in the same hospital I received my transplant at. I just want to leave a message saying, go forth and don't be afraid. You'll get through this. Your supporters will help you, and you come out on this on the other side a great person. Thank you.
My name is Judy Mcgahey from Louisville, Kentucky, and I am a living donor. I would feel like everyone should know that organ donation is so needed for others to have the second chance at life. And being a living donor of a kidney, 17 years out, I'm in perfect health.
Hi, my name is Joyce Jensen, and I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'm a double lung recipient here at the Transplant Games. And love everybody that's supporting organ donation, and continue to live your best life and honor the donor.
My name is Sally Wilson. I am a donor mom, and I'm also a 2-time kidney recipient. And organ donation has saved my life, and I've seen it save many, many other lives, and I think it is one of the most wonderful things in the world because life is so good.
Hi, my name is Ann Umbahan, and I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm here at these games, my first visit, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of my sister receiving a cadaver kidney in 1972 from Dr. Starzl, a surgeon. And that kidney lasted 42 years. And my sister Barbie went back on peritoneal dialysis, and several months ago, had a second kidney. So we think of her as receiving the gift of life actually 50 years ago. And this is my sister. You can't see her, but she's standing next to me. The story for Barbie is remarkable for a lot of reasons. Fabulous young surgeon, Dr. Starzl, who's pretty well known in the transplant community. She was 14 when she had her transplant. And back then you were on dialysis quite a bit, a lot more than you would be today. And my parents, who fortunately had backgrounds in medicine and nursing, insisted that we take care of her at home. So my parents gutted our TV room, and we built a dialysis unit at our house. And Barbie, who was 14, had dialysis administered to her by her mom, and my mom was assisted every other time by one of several daughters who were ages 13, 15, and 12. So we were young kids, but we were a family and we were going to pull together. I guess I just want to say to everybody, think about being a donor. Please sign your donor cards or on your license. There are so many people on the list who just need what's considered in the world of kidneys anyway, a fairly simple transplant. The other organs are becoming more and more readily easy, but the gift of life times 8 or 9 organs is so important. So we're excited. We're lucky to have someone after 50 years, only made possible by a very generous donor and a support network that really included some close friends and family. So anyway, we're happy to be here, and that's it.
Hey, my name's Denise Redeker. I'm a heart transplant recipient from the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm with Jenny at the Transplant Games. So excited to be here. So excited to be an organ recipient. And I run a nonprofit called Heartfelt Health Foundation.
Hi, my name is Susie Kelp, and I am a double lung transplant. And I just would like to encourage everyone that has got the opportunity to get a lung transplant. It's scary, and it's always daunting, but remember that everything you do in pre-transplant evaluation and pre-transplant pulmonary rehab only makes it easier for you to be successful when you get out. I went into my transplant walking 2 miles a day and thought I was in great shape, and you just have to do a lot of work to make it happen. So keep after it, be encouraged, know that, and trust your team, know that they will choose the right time and the right lungs just for you. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Keith Gerald. I'm a heart and liver recipient. My message of the day is just to keep the faith.
This is Gerald Wayman. I'm a 3-time kidney transplant patient. My first donor was my brother. My second donor was a cousin who unfortunately passed away with a brain aneurysm. And then my third donor was my daughter. And as you can imagine, that third time that I was getting a kidney transplant, the kidney doctors were really picky and making sure that the match I was going to get was going to be a perfect match. And so I was on dialysis for 22 months waiting for that match to be found. And during that time I was waiting, I had 117 people tested for me, which is an incredible number of people. Lots of relatives. Thankfully, I come from a big family. Lots of friends. I'm a school teacher. I actually had students being tested for me. And the story I want to share real quick is my daughter ended up being my match, and I had the transplant. And about 6 months after the transplant, I was in the hospital getting labs done, which transplant patients are always going back to get labs done. So one morning, it was early in the morning, I was sitting in the hospital. I just had my labs done and was waiting for some results in the waiting room. And one of my neighbors walked by, and I said hi to her as she walked down the hall and didn't think a whole lot of it. But about 20 minutes later, she came walking back down the hall. And she came into the waiting room and sat down by me with tears in her eyes. I'm sorry to get emotional here, but she sat down next to me and she said, I need to thank you for something. And I said, oh, thank me. I don't know that I've done anything for you, but you're certainly welcome. And she said, no, you saved my life. And I said, I don't have any idea what I did to save your life, but I'm sure glad we have. And she said, I need to explain. She said, when you were looking for a donor 6 months ago or so, I went in and was tested for you, and I had no idea she had done that. She said, I made it through the first round of the testing, and then we went to the second round where they do all the blood draws. And after they did all the blood draws, the doctors called me and said, "We're sorry we have to disqualify you as being a donor, but we want you to go see a cancer doctor immediately." And so she did. And it was discovered that she had a very aggressive form of cancer, but they had caught it early. And she went through 6 months of chemo and radiation, and they were able to eliminate it, and she's cancer-free now. And she thanked me for saving her life for that. And I had to tell her, you were doing something to save my life. It wasn't me saving yours. And she said, but it did. And they never see or never think that side of getting a transplant would be such a big deal. But I see her every day because she's my neighbor. And we have a special bond now because of that special connection of her trying and accusing me of saving her life when it was all her. But that was a special experience for us both. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Belle. My brother gave his life and his donation about a decade ago, and I've been coming to these ever since. They're great coping for the families, as well as seeing how full of life and joy everyone is, knowing they have this second chance. Great, thank you.
This is Curtis Grunst. I am new to this entire Transplant Games scene, and I'm just kind of amazed not more people know about this. My wife lost her brother and donated most of his organs, and this entire thing has just been amazing. I am so just amazed by how together these people are as a community and how beneficial it is to everyone, and I think everyone should be a part of it.
Hi, my name's Yvette Pepe. I'm here in San Diego at the Transplant Games of 2022. I am a living donor to my son, Santino Pepe. It has been 10 years since he received a kidney from me, and he's doing fantastic, and we are happy to be participating this year.
My name is Angel Meeks, and I am a heart transplant recipient, and I received my gift of life January 24th, 2020, before COVID hit, and now I'm a heart survivor of 2.5 years. And I thank God for the gift of life, my donor, whose name is Brandy, and the donor's family.
Hi, my name is Mcdonald, and I am a living donor that I donated a kidney to my husband 13 years ago. He passed away 2 years ago, and today I swam the 500 for him and the IM for him. And while I was swimming, it was Mickey, it's got your number, and that was his name. So know that you will still get signs, and donation is good, and he lived another 11 years.
My name is Johann Ayalucci. I'm from New York City. I had my single lung transplant in 2012. I give advice to anybody, if you have the opportunity to get a transplant of any kind, do it, because it beats the odds.
This is Catherine. I am a double lung transplant recipient. I'm excited to be at the Transplant Games to meet other transplant recipients and just be inspired by their stories. And we're all survivors here, so it's really exciting to be in your company.
Hi, my name is Annie Tolley. I'm a liver transplant recipient, 20 years out. Life is great.
Hello, my name is Dixie Owsley. I'm from Liberty, Missouri. I had a double lung transplant about 3.5 years ago. Just tell all you pre-transplant people out there, there's definitely life after transplant. Last summer, I climbed a mountain. It was hard, but I did it, and it's awesome. And it's okay to be scared, but know that you'll get through it okay.
Hi, my name is Kim Jones, and I'm a caregiver for my wife Dixie, who had a double lung transplant. If I was going to give any advice to caregivers out there, I would just say that you can do it. I won't sugarcoat it and say that it's easy, because it is very, very hard. But just remember, while you're doing it, take good notes, keep a diary, write things down, and that'll allow you to go to sleep at night. Good luck, and I know you'll do great.
Hi, I'm Ashley Stewart, and I received a heart transplant on March 12th, 2022. And the advice that I have would just be just to pray and that everything will be okay.
Hi, I'm Angeles Herrera, and I received the gift of life in 2007. I'm very pleased to have my healthy kidney, and I will encourage anyone to that's considering organ donation to do so. It's equally satisfying for the recipient as the person that donates. I'm very close to my donor's family, and in addition to my kidney, I inherit another family. Again, I'm Angeles Herrera, and I am from San Francisco, California.
Hi, my name is George Franklin. I am a kidney recipient of 47 years, and I would like to encourage anyone that is on the list to just keep waiting, keep healthy, try not to catch any illnesses or whatever, and look for a living donor as well. That will cut your time drastically in half. If you'd like to contact me, you're welcome to email me at gef3rd@gmail.com.
My name is Bennett, and I'm a living liver donor. About 3 years ago, I was fortunate enough that I was a match to donate a piece of my liver to a pediatric patient, a 1-year-old child who needed a liver transplant. And since then, I've stayed in touch with the parents, and they told me that she's still doing great and growing up. And I guess she's old enough now that, in sort of vague terms, she's probably able to understand the story of what happened and everything. And I think it was the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life to be able to donate an organ to her, and to hear about how she's continued growing up and being healthy and being safe. And I'm so glad I got to do it.
Hi, I'm Sharon Kearns, and I had a liver transplant 14 years ago. I guess you could say I'm a walking miracle. I was as close to death as I possibly could have been, and with that life-saving gift from a stranger, everything immediately just started going back to normal. And truly it was a miracle, and I thank my donor and donor family. I've never met them, but I can't say thank you enough for their selfless gift, and I'm enjoying every minute of life, and I'm blessed beyond belief. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Michelle Herrera, and I'm here at the 2022 Transplant Games in San Diego, California. And I'm here honoring my daughter, Sarah Michelle Herrera, who passed away April 20th of 2021 and was able to donate both of her kidneys and other organ and tissue. And we look forward to celebrating with the participants and honoring all those who have given the ultimate gift of life and creating awareness for the need for more donors. This event is showing to be just our first day here, to be so heartwarming and magical. The connection to other donor families is so very personal. We don't know them, but yet we feel like we've known them all for years. Every organ tells a story. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.
My name is Josh White, and I'm a cornea recipient. I had my cornea transplant back in October 2010. I have a disease called keratoconus, which causes the cornea to be cone-shaped, and when I was 19, it actually ruptured. And I had to wait about a year for my cornea transplant to happen, and then After that, I had sutures in my eye for a while, and after those were taken out, I could finally wear a hard lens contact, and now my vision is almost 20/20 again. So I'm so grateful for my cornea donor. I'm grateful to have the vision that I have. And I actually work in organ transplant as well now. So I'm a surgical coordinator in Salt Lake City for Donor Connect, and we work with organ transplants there in Utah and Idaho, and we also travel all over the country bringing organs back to our transplant programs there. And I'm here at the Transplant Games today in San Diego in July 2022, and I'll be running track and swimming, and I'm just grateful for altruistic and good people everywhere, and excited to share my story with you. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Todd Urban. I'm here with my wife Louise, and we're at the Transplant Games. In 2019, our 21-year-old son, Brett, died from a severe head injury. Obviously, it was a very traumatic time, but through Donate Life and Life Source of Minnesota and North Dakota, we were able to donate his organs. We know that there's a 65-year-old man in Minnesota and a 45-year-old woman also in Minnesota that have a better life through donation of his kidneys. And so, it was very tough, traumatic for what we went through, obviously, but there's many organizations throughout the country that, are involved with organ donation, organ transplants, and it's just a way to have our son, Brett, live on through the lives of others. The greatest gift that you can give, in our opinion, is to, provide to someone who needs a heart, needs lungs, needs kidneys, skin, eyes. It's all available, and there's a definite need for it, and our son lives on through others, through his generous donation and our family decision to do that in 2019. So we're here at the Transplant Games. We're supposed to be here or at the games in 2020, 2021. COVID kind of put a kibosh on that, but we're very excited to be here. This is our first year as a donor family, as ambassadors for Minnesota and North Dakota, and we're looking forward to it. Don't really know what to expect. I'm sure it'll be emotional, but it'll be very rewarding, and we're looking forward to the week ahead.
Hey, this is Sheila Spann. I am from Madison, Mississippi, and I am a kidney recipient. And I learned a lot since I've had my kidney. I had it for over 12 years now. But it's one thing that I learned, that I have to take care of my body. And I only have one kidney, so I've learned to eat healthier. I've become even more strong. I physically exercise every day, so it's opened up it's like another birthday. So I just recommend if you become an organ donor, because our donors are our heroes.
Hey, my name is Charles Butler. I received a double lung transplant June 27th of 2013. The advice I would give anyone is to follow what the doctors say, be cautious, take your medicine like you're supposed to. If you don't feel well, let your team know. Good luck.
Hi, my name is Tammy. On Wednesday, I just celebrated my 25th transplant anniversary of receiving my deceased donor kidney. I never got to meet my donor family, but I want them to know, and anyone who's a donor family, that it's so worthwhile, and my life has been extended. I've had 2 daughters. I've seen so many things I never would have gotten to see without this transplant, and I want to thank every single donor and donor family that's out there.
Hi, my name is Matty. I'm 28 years old, and I had a double lung transplant in October of 2020. I was really not prepared to have a lot of complications post-transplant. I had a really rough first 6 months, but if you're going through that same thing, just kind of push through, because it does get better. I'm now have 100% lung function. I'm back to playing soccer and tennis and everything I love. And I hope to get a full-time job soon. So just keep pushing through and you'll make it. It's so worth it.
Hello, my name is Tom Fannerstill, and I had a life-saving liver transplant in 2013. It's amazing what doctors can do these days, and a good transplant team can keep you healthy and happy. And coming out the other side, I'm just so overjoyed. I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm feeling good again. I've seen 3 grandchildren born. Life changed when I got my transplant. Good luck, hang in there. It's a little rough at times, but hang in there because it gets better.
Hi, this is Kelly Wilkerson, and I'm with Team Texas. And I had my heart transplant in March of 2019. There's a lot of things people don't tell you, or the docs don't tell you, little minute details that skip you. One of the most wonderful things to do is be sure and touch base with your psychologists and therapists. They can really walk you through some tough times. So if I can tell anybody one thing to do is be sure and do that, and they can help you live a much better life.
Hi, my name is Nancy DiPietro. I'm a caregiver to a transplant patient, my husband, Larry. He had a double lung transplant in 2016. It literally saved his life because without it, he had idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, and he was only given 12 to 15 months to live. He's since been 6 years post-transplant. He's been doing great, and he's participated in 3 transplant games in Salt Lake, in Banff, and this one in San Diego. So I would encourage anyone who is ill and needs a transplant to consider it because it literally saved my husband's life.
Hello, my name is Del McQueen, and I got a heart transplant at 8 months old. I'm 14 right now, so it has been 13 years. I've been working very, very hard. I'm doing a lot of sports and everything. This heart transplant isn't stopping me from doing anything. For all those who've already got a transplant of some sort, or for those family members going through it, just never give up and just keep looking forward. Just know that God is always on your side, and that you'll never be alone.
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm here with my wife, Kelly, and I'm a 9-year heart transplant recipient, and I'm here trying to make the best of the life, that second chance that I've been given. So I cannot say enough how grateful me and my family are for the ability to live again. And since I received the transplant, I've done several half marathons, a marathon, and most importantly, I got to see my youngest daughter get married, and then a couple months ago I found out I'm going to be a grandfather. So the life that I was given is a gift that I really can't describe, because I never expected to make it this far, and now we've been told we should make it for a lot longer. And so all I can say is to the recipients out there, keep living your life, and to the donors and their families, thank you so much. You can never understand just how much you mean to us individually and as a community. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I hope that you really enjoyed listening to these heartwarming stories from these amazing people at the Transplant Games. Part 2 is coming out in a few days, so stay tuned. I can't wait for you guys to hear that episode 2. It's just as amazing as this one. Thank you for listening to the Pre to Post Transplant Podcast. Please be sure to subscribe to the podcast and follow us on Facebook. Oh, and if you have not signed up to be an organ donor, please visit www.organdonor.gov and register today. You too can save lives.